Hey, thanks for tuning in. In this video, we're going to be covering two potential builds for the Primal Council fight in the Vault of the Incarnates raid as a Devastation Evoker. So, doing sims, trying it on target dummies, I've kind of fallen into two potential builds for this fight. So, the Primal Council is a full-on AoE. All you're going to be using is Pyre. So we're not going to be using any disintegrates, so things like scintillation and arcane instability and catalyze are just off the table for this build. But there's a couple things that are on the table in this build because it's unique in that way. So one of them that's a unique talent to this fight in particular is Lay Waste. 20% increased damage with Deep Breath. Onyx Legacy is going to be really handy in this because you're going to want to be, throwing out Deep Breath on cooldown every minute after your first Dragon Rage. And there's sort of two variations that I've found, and the amount of damage difference between them is very minuscule, like less than 1%. One of them has a wider variance in damage, and the other one is more narrow in its variance, but requires more uptime on the boss, you could say. So let's go over the wider variance one, like the bit of I guess I could say the easier build of the two for this boss. So see, I've got 2 points remaining. This is the build so far. The easier build choice you can do would be to go with Imminent, Destruction, and you would actually drop Spellweaver's Dominance and pick up Hoarded Power. This build is roughly 300 DPS less than the other build. Now you go, 300 DPS, that sucks. But this build has one less ability that you have to worry about and worry about optimizing. It does have a wider variance in that if you get lucky with your Essence Burst not being consumed with Hoarded Power, you actually get more pyres off than what you typically would with the other build. So that's where it makes up for it. The Empower difference is just a very minor improvement on it. But overall, this build will work. This build is an easier build. If you're unlucky, for say, and you've got two evokers with the same build, or two evokers, one with the easy build, one with the other build we're going to cover, and both of you guys get a shitty amount of mechanics and you have to leave the boss out of your range fairly often, this build will probably end up winning out compared to the other one. And also this one depends on luck too, but like I said, it's like a 1% or less than 1% damage increase. So on sims, this build did like 97.2k overall on a 5-minute 4-boss fight with light movement. The other build was 97.5k. So you be the decider as to which one you want to do. The other build, you take those 3 talents, so you get in Spellweaver's Dominance, you're going to hit Shattering Star and Focusing Iris. So this build requires you to be very good with your uptime on Shattering Star, using it on cooldown every 15 seconds, and making sure that when you use Shattering Star, you have enough essence built up to land out 2 or 3 pyres, ideally within the 6-second window that you get by taking Focusing Iris. The reason this one has a lower variance is because instead of relying on a proc, like a 20% proc, you have that guaranteed 20% extra damage during that uptime. Now, if you maximize that uptime and you have minimal mechanics, this build will definitely pull out ahead of the other build. The other build, like I said, is a little bit more random. It requires that 20% proc to really, benefit you. Like if you had average procs, you'd probably be roughly the same, that 300 or less difference. If you got God procs and you're getting proc after proc after proc consistently throughout the fight, you're going to be miles ahead. And if you got super unlucky and didn't get any procs, you'd essentially be doing this build minus using Shattering Star, which will put you behind. So it's up to you as to what you want to do. My suggestion would be is if you want to go with Imminent Destruction and Hoarded Power, I would, drop 2 in Inherent Resistance and put 2 into Innate Magic. That way you have that guaranteed buildup of Pyre, just so you have more Essence regeneration. Like, might get you a few more Pyres off throughout the fight. But other than that, not much else to say about these builds. Do whichever one you choose to go with. For me, I'm going to go with the Shattering Star one. I just made a Recore the other day that honks at me every time Shattering Star is up, so that way I'll always know to use it off cooldown, which is what you should be using. If you can use it off cooldown and get 2 Pyres out, great. It's better to use it and then sit there and wait, because over the time of a fight, you'll end up losing. You'll end up losing like 1 or 2 Shattering Stars if you hold off to build up that extra little bit of essence to build out those Pyres. So hopefully this helps you out. Hopefully this gets you ready for raid. It's going to be interesting to see which build comes out on top at the end of the, during the logs and everything, or at the end of the season, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyways, thanks for clicking the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, or comment below if you have any questions about the build or anything like that. And if you want, you can go over to Twitch TV/CanadianCow and follow me on Twitch. Anyways, thanks. Peace.